I'm very honored to be here, and thank you for that warm introduction, Father Mick. I'm going to try and stay, it's very hard for me to stay in one spot, but I'm going to try and stay behind the podium because I am dealing with a virus that doesn't want to go away. The doctor told me when I went to see her last week that it's going to last 6 or 7 more weeks of this cough that just kind of randomly comes up. So otherwise I'm fine. I don't have any other symptoms, but all of a sudden I may turn around and just start coughing, so I beg your pardon ahead of time. And I'm going to try and stay in front of the microphone, so I noticed if I project my voice more, I start to cough more. So thank you for that. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good and gracious God, as we gather this evening, we open our hearts to receive the love of your Son. We ask you to make us disciples, always willing to show others your love. And as we think about the Eucharist, we celebrate each Sunday, perhaps each day at Mass, that we might become, through that participation, deeper sharers in your Son's death. We might live his resurrection in our lives and share the gifts that we receive from that gift, from that grace of the Mass, with those that we meet. We ask all this through Christ, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So the title for this talk that I gave on the video that I was asked to provide, which was complicated because my phone decided to stop recording audio as I went to record it, was All You Need to Know About the Mass and More, meant to grab attention. The topic I was asked to actually come here and speak about is the general instruction of the Roman Missal. So all of us who've been to Mass have seen that the priest has this usually red, sometimes perhaps burgundy, perhaps green book that the server holds in front of him, or that he holds himself, or is put on a stand or on the altar, and that he prays from. Well, this book, which we call the Roman Missal, has in the front of it the general instruction. And these notes at the very beginning of the book give the priest an outline and instructions on how to celebrate Mass. Those instructions are called the general instruction of the Roman Missal, which sometimes are referred to by their abbreviation as the germ. No, that's not what I have already. It causes me to cough. The general instruction of the Roman Missal, the first letters, could be abbreviated as GIRM, the germ. And so I'm here tonight to talk a little bit about this general instruction. Father Mick mentioned that I have a great love for the liturgy and that I've read a lot. It usually gets me in more trouble than it's worth. That love started a long time ago. When I was just in 3rd grade, I became an altar server. And by the end of that year, in the beginning of my 4th grade year, I was training altar servers in my parish. And I continued to do that until I went to public middle school and high school, because it was something generally done by students in the grade school. And when I was training my fellow servers, I eventually had other fellow servers who were helping to train, and I had less things to do. And so as I would spend some of my recess time in the church sacristy while we were training servers, I got to know that book that the priest uses very well. And I discovered at the front of it these notes or instructions. And as I read them, I was truly taken by them. I truly found them interesting, especially, of course, because they described something that had never happened in my presence before. Of course, I would regularly inform the priest of all the mistakes he was making. Probably didn't lead to any good thing for me. I had a blessed conversation with my 2nd grade teacher, who was a sister of St. Francis of Perpetual Adoration in Mishawaka, Sister Angela, about something else a few days ago. And when she answered the phone, she said, "Hello." I was silent for a second because I didn't know whether I should say, "Hi, sister, this is Father Ted, Father Mauch, this is Teddy, this is Ted." I didn't know what to say because I'd known her since I was in 2nd grade. And so finally I said something to her, and I said, I didn't know what to call myself. And she said, "Oh, Father, when you were in 2nd grade, you were never speechless." I certainly had the gift of being able to talk, which has not left me even to this day. But so as we look at this general instruction of the Roman Missal, it's something that truly is something we should fall in love with, because it is not just writing or notes at the beginning of a book, but it's how we are to celebrate one of the most important things we do in our lives. We celebrate the Mass.